Shit.
How's it going?
I beeped it.
You beeped it? You see a timer there?
Right, good looking, good to go. Let's check out these lights. You know, I've hyped this place up so much, we're probably doing nothing today.
Yeah.
When we get there, I'll give a full brief on the rundown of the place, and then we'll go through the past 24 hours. So we have two specialists on shift at this time, heading to one property. It's because of the complexity and the size of the property. We also have our other partners, and we also have Denver Police as well, and we work up as a coalition task force. So my name is John Dingwall Matheson. Prior to working for Denver Metro, I've done 15 years in the British military before moving across the United States. Why I enjoy my job? Because it gives me the diversity, and it also gives me the opportunity to meet some really nice people along the way, and to help them and sometimes guide them into better things. Our job is to deter people from coming into the properties and give them a sense of hope that someone is there to look after them if something does horrendously happen. We have had fires in properties which I had to deal with, and that was only a few weeks ago, where I went into a building and then into the room and I put the fire out. We also deal with a lot of medical emergencies with people having seizures. We are there for a constant period of time. We're not there for a short time, so we do get to know a lot of the people and a lot of the problems. And next time we get onto the property, we understand what the issues are prior to getting onto the property, which makes our job a lot easier in the long run. And if stuff does go wrong, so you've got MedPack, I've got one here, and we've got EMT as well, so we're fully covered today, which makes me happy. I love these facilities because it's like giving back to people, like giving back to the community. If I can help someone in a day and make sure that I make their life a little bit easier by moving sofa, moving anything, or helping them with the shopping, it makes me feel a lot easier when I go home at night to think I've got a sense of purpose for the job that I do.
And why are you checking those fires?
So we check fire extinguishers or any other cabinets, generally to find drugs, find hypodermic needles, anything that we don't want in the properties. We've had a lot of experience with checking these areas here, and we'll find drugs, we'll find hypodermic needles. So just check and make sure that there isn't anything there and keep everybody safe.
This is a prime example of some of the things we find up here. So someone has possibly been ditching some stuff or possibly sleeping here. With the heat in here, it's very hard to kind of sleep. Cool, good. Okay, well, the next thing we're going to check is we're going to check the bin areas. We're going to check for any sort of remnants of dirty needles. If anyone was using dirty needles or any needle, we might find some remnants over here in this area. Just be careful if you go in there. I've got gloves on, I'll dive in. You got one? Here we go. So, already we've just managed to find a needle. Now that was even without even knowing it was even there. You know, that's kind of how well we know these properties.
It's not good. So when I was talking about checking the cabinets, fire extinguisher cabinets, this is exactly why, right here. Luckily, the plunger is already down, so we know that there's no remnants of drugs involved, but we still got to be very careful, because if I were to get stuck by this, I'd immediately have to go to the hospital and get tested. My name is Specialist Tyler Stegman. My background is in U.S. Army as an infantryman, and then I spent about 4 years as a EMT up in the mountains. And prior to that, I also did volunteer fire work, which I've done for 6 years. The work that we do is definitely different than what you'll see other security companies do, let alone others within our company. We definitely get kind of onto a personal basis with the residents at the properties. We learn exactly what's going on there, and then to our best of our ability, we then try to either mitigate the issues that they're having, or we try and cease all issues that they're complaining about. Whether that's gang members on the properties, drug sales, prostitution, or just a noisy neighbor that's up at 1 a.m. stomping on the floor listening to rock and roll music.
Never.
Were you in this vehicle?
Did you hit my car?
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you in the vehicle as well? Okay, go ahead and sit down.
Okay.
So what happened is we were inside looking over some camera footage, and one of my partners heard a bang, asked if we heard it. I said no. I came over to the window thinking probably it was outside. Saw a whole bunch of people gathered around, and poked my head outside even more and saw this vehicle here. My EMS and fire skills immediately kicked in. I went over there to see who was involved and go ahead and start treating them. As I was treating them, I was kind of directing my other partners what I needed them to do. So we got the 2 patients examined. They had minor injuries. They were taken to a local hospital to get checked out. We'll do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Right there?
Yeah, right
Okay,
there.
don't move your head.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
No. And he can go on the bench.
You want him on the X? Okay. We're gonna help you out there, okay? Just take your time.
The vehicle was secure, and there was no further safety hazards with the airbags going off or any gasoline leaking. PD's still on site doing their thing, but everyone's safe. That is exactly why multiple skills in this type of work are paramount to what we do.
And then we'll wait for this to leave, get this boarded up,
Yep.
and then we'll go back to what we're doing.
Yeah, tow truck should be here soon after PD's done with their thing.
Hey, I'm here for you.
Great. She's got to you need more than that, but you had the lights off, so that's a good sign.
Well, we've got more.
Everybody all right?
Like,
Everybody all right? Everybody good? Yeah. There's another cat.
This is kind of what we mainly deal with at this sort of particular property. We deal with a lot of car accidents. It's very prone here, believe it or not. I've been to this property numerous times, and actually I've dealt with now my 3rd car accident outside here. So that's kind of one of the things we deal with. We don't deal with just things on property, we'll deal with things off property also. And if it seems as if it's life or death, to preserve life and preserve property, that's what we're here to do. Today we've done both. Preserve life is what Tyler done as EMT, and protect property was what I did on my side. So together we worked really well, and we managed to get a lot of stuff done over a short space of time. So all good. We can now get back to our role inside the building and make sure that we can deter people.
You know Sparkles, don't you? That's my copy from there.
Sparkles. That's it.
You guess his name's Sparkles.
That's it. From now on, Sparkles.
Sparkles.
As a part of our Special Services Division, we utilise teams of employees who are specially trained to work with high-risk locations that require a more advanced level of service than a typical client. known as the Community Resource Specialist units. These officers receive training in a wide range of topics, including mental health first aid, spontaneous knife defense, advanced first aid techniques, trauma-informed care, non-violent physical intervention, and defense tactics. These advanced courses assist our personnel in not only being prepared for those situations that may be deemed more dangerous than others, but also with training which helps them understand the homeless and mental health communities and to be able to treat everyone with respect and dignity.
It was earlier today.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh,
Oh man.
oh yeah. What is this?
What have you got?
We've got some narcotics.
Crack. Really, John?
Huh?
Really?
I'm trying to pick up.
There you go.
Right.
Right, which person in this property are you here to see?
Specifically,
Yes,
anybody
that. No. I'm going to escort you off the property now.
I'm here to visit.
Right, I'm going to escort you off the property.
I'll
Yeah.
leave.
So let's go.
I'll leave.
Yeah. You can't be
The
walking
point
around
is,
here.
how do you wander?
No, you're not
No.
wandering around this property.
Why? That's just
That's
where
not gonna
somebody
happen.
lives.
If someone lives, but you don't,
Why not?
because you don't live here.
Why don't I live ever? So what's the
Sir,
job?
listen. If you don't know where you live, how do I know where you live?
Oh, exactly.
So, here's my point.
How can you trust the no address
So I'll tell you somewhere you can't live, and it's not here. So I'm giving you now a verbal trespass. If I see you again on here, you will be arrested and go to jail.
Okay.
Okay?
Way too big to get the
Right, that's none of my concern. My concern is
I've
keeping
never
you
been
away from the
here.
area.
How much does it cost to go over?
Sir, I don't know where you live, so I can't tell
Neither
you.
do I.
So if you don't know, how can I
You can
know?
buy it.
Sir,
First night.
conversation's done. Come on.
Hotel.
Okay. You have a wonderful evening, my friend.
Okay.
Okay? You have a wonderful night, my friends.
So I like helping people. That's kind of just my background. But when I became 18, I immediately joined my local fire department. I've helped many kinds of people. It's a good feeling that you show up and they're having the worst day of their lives. You're the one person that can make that day just a little bit better, regardless if it's just a small cut or if they're possibly could go into cardiac arrest.
The reason that the CRS units are different is we do work with the gangs in Denver and surrounding areas. We do have a mutual respect with them. On a daily basis, when we are on certain places, we do have a run-in with the gangs, and we do encounter them, and also the dealing of narcotics, where we work with PDs, with their narcotics units. Our training that is given allows us to have a good impact not only on the community, but also on the residents of the buildings. A lot of the places where we go, people look forward to seeing us. Lots of people who have an issue, they will call and ask for a specific officer to come and respond to them, because we do have that rapport with them. We get to know their families, we get to know their lives, we get to know everything about these people. And when we leave, they feel that when we leave, things happen, and when we go back, we are a ray of sunshine to them. And that's why we are different. We care about what we do, what we say, and how we are trained. If we are not at home, we're training. If we're not training, we're working. I like to help people. I grew up with an upbringing with just me and my mum, and I think helping people was kind of where I wanted to go with my life. After 15 years in the military, where better could I be than here, helping people in a local community and being a figure of the actual community where children actually look up to you. and children want to be you, and that makes it all worthwhile.